Greetings and salutations. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on area. So what would you do if you're given this question? Find the total area of the composite shape made up of a rectangle and semicircle. Well, based off my beautiful art skills, this is, well, a cuboid, and there is a circle on top, if we're not mistaken. So this is firstly a 3D shape. Well, a cuboid is a 3D shape. So it's 3D. It's a 3D shape. But here they're asking us to rectangle and a semicircle. So what they're basically asking us is to find the total area of the rectangles and a semicircle. So just a reminder, this is the width. This is the width. The width is 6 centimeters and the length is 8 centimeters. So remember, the width is always the shorter one, and the length is always the longer one. Remember, L, length for longer. So to find the area of a rectangle, remember, this is a cube, but we're focusing on the rectangle of it, so just the surface of it. So the area of a rectangle is length by width, isn't it? So let's do so. So we're going to write our formula, length by width. So length is 8 centimeters. So 8 centimeters multiplied by 6 centimeters is 48 centimeters squared. Now we have to find the area of a circle. I'm just going to draw the circle. So, firstly, there are numerous ways you can do this. Well, the formula to find a circle, the full area of a circle is pi r squared. You could take this and find the area of the whole circle, and then you could divide it by 2, or you could multiply it by 180 degrees all over 360 degrees. So let's do both ways. So this is the formula to find the whole circle, right? And we're just going to slot everything we know into this formula. So pi r, so what is our radius? They tell us that the diameter, so the diameter is 6. And remember, the diameter is basically just double the radius. Half a diameter is called a radius. This is the radius. So the radius has to be 3, because if you're splitting 6, it has to be 3 and 3, right? So the radius is equal to 3. So we're going to put that in, 3 squared. So pi 9. Okay. With this, you could literally just put this into your calculator and it will give you receding decimals. But what people usually do is they just round this up. The answer to this is 28.27 43388, okay? This is literally what you're going to get in your calculator if you put 9 multiplied by pi. But what people usually do is, okay, 28.27, that's it. Because, well, 4 is less than 5, so that means we don't have to round it up. And then they wonder why they get them wrong. To be accurate, especially when it comes to these type of questions, you have to be split on accurate. You cannot round up. You can round up at the end of your answer, specifically if they're asking to, in your question, round it up to 2 decimal places. But they're just telling us find the total area. So why are we rounding up in the middle of our calculations? So let's not round up in the middle of our calculations, because we want to keep this precise and accurate as possible, as the most we can, okay? So we're going to keep this. I know it's a lot of effort, but we're going to keep this receding decimal, and then we're going to continue on, because this is the area of the full circle. We're trying to find a semicircle of it, so we're trying to find half of it. So this part is what we are trying to find. It is also known as 180 degrees over, well, 360, or you could just divide it by 2. So let's do both ways. So the first method we could do is 180 degrees all over 360 degrees, because remember, a whole circle, so all the way, is 360 degrees. But if you were to just half it, and you were just get half of this, and you were to measure the degrees of here, it would be 180 degrees. And then, of course, with a sector is always a right angle. So this would be 90 degrees, okay? And then, well, without a sector, this would all be 270 degrees, okay? Because 360 take away 90 degrees is 270 degrees. It all makes sense. So just do catch up on your angles if you are struggling with this. So 180 degrees all over 360 degrees multiplied by 28.274333388 all over 1. You don't really have to do the all over 1 if you're putting this into your calculator because it'll automatically know what you're doing, but you can if you want. And this will all equal to 14.1371669.4, okay? Centimeters squared. Remember, do not forget your unit. So this is basically the, oh goodness, don't forget your unit, sorry. So this is the area of the full circle, this is the area of the semicircle. The second way you can do this is you could take 28.274333388 and divide that by 2, and you should get 14.1371669.4 centimeters squared. So you're going to get the exact same thing. You now know what the area of the semicircle is, and you know what the area of the rectangle is. So now we have the area of the semicircle and the area of the rectangle. We have to add them all together because the question is specifically asking us to find the total area. So 48 centimeters squared, because that is the area of the rectangle, plus 14.1371669.4 centimeters squared, and you should get 62.1371669.4. Now, this is your answer. Now, in this case, you can round it up. You could either round it up to 62 centimeters squared, or you could just round it up to the 2 decimal places, which people usually do. So you could just go 62.14 centimeters squared. Now, if you need help with rounding up and you are finding it a little bit difficult on just how to round up, here is a little bit of a reminder of what rounding up is. Okay, say 62.137166. Okay, you are given this number, okay, and you are told to round it up to the nearest 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places, okay? 62, we're going to keep the unit 62, and now we're going to focus on the decimals. So we have 1, we're going to leave that. We have the second decimal place, so we're going to focus on this number 3. Now the rule is that if you have 5 or more, you round it up to the next. So you round it up to the next number. So for example, well here, 3, we look at the next number, it's 7. Okay, so since it is 7, it is higher than 5, so this number has to go up by 1. So it has to be 0.14, okay, to round this up. But say you are given 62.134, okay? You have to round up to the nearest 2 decimal places, so you keep the 1, you keep the 3, but you have to kind of focus on the next decimal place after that. 4, is 4 the number 5? No. Is 4 higher than 5? No. So that means you keep it to 13. So your answer would be 62.13, okay? So if it is 5 or more, you round it up to the next decimal place, or if it is 4 or less, you will keep it, so minus. Keep it as it is, okay? So that is that. Thank you for watching.